episode of Michael's Early Bears Special. It is Sunday, November 13th, and that means it is week 10. Mike North, how are you, my friend?
Aldo, I'm doing great. It's good to be back after a week off. Last week was at the wonderful bowling event that had a lot of fun. Saw all the folks from the bar room. I finally met some people I hadn't met for a while and that I admire. The Parisis. I came out of that unscathed, and then I got Johnny Buffon, and I don't want to miss anybody. Donna was there, your lovely wife, and you, and of course, and a great event put on by the barroom out there at the bowling alley. Lucky strike lanes. There it is. Look at that. You don't play. We don't play. Aldo, great job. Met a lot of great people, man. Had fun, and I just bowled a few blinds, but I wasn't serious. And then I saw that there was a video being taken. So finally, I did knock down 8 or 9 pins. But there I am.
Not on this one.
What are you showing that for? For God's
sake.
He called me Krishenko.
For people that don't know, he was the greatest bowling announcer who ever lived.
Yes, he
along
was.
with the Nelson Burton Jr., who put together bowling in the 70s. It was as big a ratings as sometimes football, college football and other college basketball. I still think it can be. I know that a lot of networks are still picking it up, like CBS. The CBS network does stuff. ESPN is still doing stuff. So, the PBA is healthy, ladies and gentlemen. When was the last time that was said on any kind of bear show? The PBA, the Professional Bowlers Association, is healthy.
Is the betting community alive in pro bowling?
No, but you know what? It should be.
Yeah.
It should be alive. I know they got team bowling now and stuff like that, but bowling should be bet. I mean, if they're betting on ping pong, you know what I mean?
No crap.
They're betting on ping pong, and I'm sure there's some hanky panky going on. I can't believe I missed that. And then the guy goes and collects $100,000. But that's beside the point. Yeah, the easiest sports to fix would probably be bowling because the prize money is low, and tennis, which is fixed anyway. So you know what I mean. So hi Tony, how you doing? So that's it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it was a great event, and your appearance there is really, Mike, what made it a super.
Oh, cut it out! You put on a show, man. You got food, you got lanes, you got come out of nowhere. I mean, a Tooch comes out from behind me. I went, yeah. He was. I think he was. I told him you got to get more sleep. You know what I mean?
Joe Mandel says that Tom Brady is undefeated in international games. They've got a game starting at about 25 minutes.
Yeah. You know what? I'd rather try to get back with $1 from Central and Madison in Chicago at 3 a.m. with people closing in than go to that stupid game in Germany. Wow. I'm going to Germany to watch the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where the NFL's got everybody. But you know what? That's part of growing the game, and people do love the game internationally. But, that's crazy. It's crazy. I would never. I seriously, I don't know if I'd go to another state. I mean, I used to come home from the Super Bowls. I went to 17 Super Bowls, never went to a game.
Really?
Was home to watch it with BB on Sunday. Forget about it. Too many people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
People. Nobody. Hey, how you doing? Nobody's here. You know what I mean? I like it.
Yeah. I went to Sunday's Bears-Dolphins game, which is one of the reasons we didn't have a show last week. So I apologize to those who were tuning in and wondering, where the hell is Mike? But I'll tell you, being at the game was fun, but it is so much work. It is so much work.
That's why they got to get out of there.
Yeah. No.
I guarantee you, just to get in the joint, you can't find a cab when you want to leave. I watched the game from one of the skyboxes. It was the most boring experience of my life once. And then I went to the game when they opened against Green Bay. I was in the Miller deck. The blimp was under me. I mean, that's how high I was. You know what I mean? Well, I was high in more ways than one back then, but I'm serious. The blimp was below me. So, you know what? And you got to walk to Michigan Avenue. The whole thing is just, it's the worst stadium in my world. Yeah. When you see college football on Saturday and you see the stadiums that they have, like I see Notre Dame Stadium, Tennessee, all these other, we're an embarrassment. The Bears are an embarrassment. They really are. To be one of 32 professional football teams with that place.
I could not have said it any better, Mike. It is such an embarrassment. Now, when you're inside the stadium, it's okay. The sight lines for just about every seat in the place is nice, but
getting there though.
Yes, exactly. It is.
Listen, if I want to go to, for instance, I want to go to a White Sox game. Okay, where I live, I better leave at 2. Okay,
2 a.m.
Yeah. Well, whatever, and it better be an all-day deal. But even if you live on Park Ridge or if you live in the northern suburbs, it's a chore to go to a White Sox game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a chore to go to a Bear game. The Bulls are easy. To me, the Bulls and the Hawks, the best. Wrigley, fine. But those two, forget about it. Mm-hmm. Tough.
I'll.
You looked exhausted from last week.
Yeah, because I don't even want to get into that because there was also the drama. I'll save that for behind the scenes talk, you and me.
Get a little problem?
It was.
Some guys got out of line.
No, I won't say anything. I don't want to get in trouble. But it was fun to watch a historic game by Justin Fields. I have been dying to ask you these 3 questions.
Okay.
Number 1, is Justin Fields now doing enough to change your opinion that he might not be a starting quality quarterback? Number 2, what is his ceiling as a quarterback in the NFL based on what you've seen so far? And number 3, are you ready to support him unconditionally?
Well, since nobody was supporting him a month ago, I guess I'm the only guy that didn't even want him, but nobody supported him a month ago. I mean, the Bears didn't put him in a good position. He was in a bad place. The overthrow in Washington set him back, but it seemed like a light turned on. He will not win ever unless he learns to throw from the pocket. And if he's going to run like he's been running, he'll be out in 4 years, 3 to 4 years, like RG3, Cam Newton. I could go through a list of 15, 20 quarterbacks who, now, that doesn't mean he can't be that one that can take those hits. He knows how to slide. There's certain ways he knows how to run. I would remind everybody I took the over Bears at 6.5, and I should be in position to take it if we did not trade 2 of our pieces that turned us into a respectable defense, from a respectable defense to a horrific defense. I'd be right there. We win the Washington game. We should have won Miami. They'll correct the edge blocker trying to cut a guy on a punt team, which is a no-no. You put a big guy on the wing, not Khalil Herbert. It gets blocked. That was the biggest play of the game. And let me remind everybody about this. I was never against Justin Fields. I was pissed about what has happened to Trubisky and continues to. But that being said, I took the over 6.5. So apparently I must have been supporting Justin Fields, and he's doing what I wanted him to do. Run the football and hit 3 or 4 big plays. That's all you got to do. Mm-hmm. You can throw. This is where I think Claypool's going to come into play. I think he's going to get some busted plays. In other words, when you start scrambling Fields, I think Claypool's going to live and eat off the passes that he's thrown when the defensive backs lose sight of him because they don't know what Fields is going to do. Right. So I wanted this to happen for the Bears and Bears fans, but I also will tell everybody, no matter what, Fields is 5-15 as a starter, and that's dangerous territory. We'll see what happens today, though, because they've been on a roll. It's just impossible for me to believe that you have 4 200-yard games in a row and you lose most of them. 200-yard rushing games in a row, and you're losing?
Yeah.
Come on.
So what happens if Fields takes a step back with his own personal performance against a Detroit Lions team that has proven to be one of the worst?
I won't be upset with them. He's due. They're due for a stinker in a way. The offense is. I mean, they're averaging like 29 points a game. I remember Eldo and I, folks, remember when they didn't get 29 points in 3 games combined.
That's right.
We remember, forget about today's over and under, folks, and you say to yourself, how does Mike wake up at whatever godly hour, 4 a.m. And no, it's called preparation. It's called savvy. Okay. But I got to tell everybody this. Aldo and I are on the same wavelength with this. But I will say this. They won't win unless Fields learns to throw better from the pocket. They'll never win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never. I don't think Lamar Jackson's ever going to win a Super Bowl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that basically running quarterbacks, I've said this all along. Look at Stafford. He gets on a new team last year. Boom. Look at Brady. Gets on a new team his first year. Boom. So hopefully he gets better from the pocket. But I'm excited. And the Bears have put up enough points that they should have won 4 games in a row. Period.
That is true. Are you satisfied with the plan that Ryan Poles is demonstrating, tearing everything down, getting rid of all these salaries? I mean, they're paying for like $95 million worth of salaries right now for players who are not in the team so that they can get great cap space next year. What do you think about that?
It's so stupid that they're $100 million under already. I mean, why are we paying Roquan Smith to play for another team? Who cares about the draft pick? I don't care. I liked Claypool coming. Who cares about what we're getting for Roquan Smith? It's like me having a good chef in a restaurant, okay, and letting somebody else have him for a chef that's coming out of culinary school next year. You don't do that. So my point was 2 weeks ago, so people can't say, well, now you're saying, Mike, because now the offense is going. No. I was on the Quinn trade. They had a week to go. Poles already did the deal. He never dreamt they were going to beat New England. And if he tells you he thought they were, he's lying. He should have pulled the deal, waited 1 more week, but the team was down already. Smith is up on the podium crying when they traded him. Mm-hmm. But then you look at Roquan, who disappointed a couple years, never said, who was money and did not have an agent, demands to be traded. I don't care about all that garbage. We're playing for this year. I'm tired of rebuilding. You're rebuilding, so are the Giants. So is Seattle. The Falcons are 4-6, and they're still talking about winning something, yet the Bears are the only team that's in rebuild mode. It's called, you had a shot, there were some missteps, and now our defense is not worthy of winning anything when our offense, you improve the offense while you're getting rid of the 2 defensive pieces. Mm-hmm. I don't get it. I mean, seriously. Hey, we lost our great chef, but we got a new waiter. Yeah, but the food's going to take longer to cook. The waiter's not worth a damn now. Never mind. I don't know why you get me going. I mean, I like competing.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of this. I got cut from this elimination pool I was in. It was $15,000 for first, 7 for second. And third place was $3,000. So I was all excited. I told everybody about it. I've been promoting it. Matt Newman's Vincent, great job. And I kidded along with him that this is my 7th decade on Earth. Mm-hmm. And I've never finished last in anything. Well, I did in this pool, and I got cut. Now they're going to cut guys each week. Right. My cut was last week. I first time ever I've ever finished last in anything except my class. Okay, in school, any athletic thing. Except the score the first 3 months, we got 0 ratings until Nielsen or Arbitron found out, oh, wait, it's only a 12-hour station. Mm-hmm. And then that was the beginning of the onslaught things. But we finished last the first 3 months, and I never finished last in anything, from playing in sports, playing junior college ball, playing sandlot ball, anything. Being in contests, nothing. Radio ratings, no. And I finished last. And it's a whole new experience. You get humbled, and then you got to criticize yourself, because I did lose 7 of those games, 3 of them on pushes, 2 last week, Atlanta and the Rams, and 4 games by 1. But I also made some dumb picks, so I'm responsible. But it still is no fun to criticize yourself, but you do it to everybody else. So I just want to say this. I crapped the bed, so let's move on now.
Let's never talk about it again.
Yeah.
You're one of the most competitive individuals I've ever met. I mean,
I was sick to my stomach for a week with that pool.
Like, even when I was videotaping you at bowling and you did not throw a good ball, you were like, get rid of that effing tape. I'm like, this guy's competitive.
Well, listen, if we ever do it again, I'll bring my ball and my shoes. I won't have a turkey leg in my hand. And somebody coming up to me. I mean, I met Danny and all the boys. I mean,
yeah. Dan throws an interesting bowling ball. 50 yards down, the ball is still in the air and it lands in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, Danny's a big guy.
He's a huge man.
Yeah, he's a big man.
All right, so let's get back to the Chicago Bears because they are now 3-6. They are still officially in the hunt for a wild card berth, and
that's why I was pissed. We got an extra wild card.
Yes, exactly. But they've got a number of teams they've got to leapfrog, including 2 teams that they've lost against. One of them is the Giants. Another one is the Vikings. They've got another match with the Vikings, of course. They got to leapfrog. Well, they're not going to catch the Vikings. The Vikings basically have the division title in hand, but they lost against the Packers, who are still feasibly in the wild card. We got to talk about Aaron Rodgers in a second.
That's what I'm talking about here, though. We did not have to jump. Yeah. 2 guys, a couple draft picks when you're $100 million under the capping. You know, I mean, we got some good ball players on this team. And I was at a function this past weekend with Frank Komet, okay, Cole's father. And we were talking, and they're relieved that their guy's starting to get some work. He's my cousin, you know, so we're both all relieved that he's doing better.
Awesome.
But, you know, he had some interesting things to say. He thinks the line's doing okay. He thinks that the pieces, and this is like, he's like me. I said to him, I don't buy that they don't have pieces. He goes, neither do I. Okay. So, well, Justin Fields is a piece. Right. Okay. And I'll tell you who they really like, who Frank likes. I don't think I'm speaking out of school. I don't know when this guy, he likes Montgomery as a running back because he don't back down. He'll get you 3.94 yards a carry. And he'll break that one tackle. Now, that one tackle may be behind the line, so he'll get 3 yards, but that was going to be a loss. But he likes the line, likes the running game, and he loves David Montgomery. So that's what I got out of that. There was other stuff I don't want to talk about, but he likes the team, and they're excited about Fields. They are. So.
I'll tell you one thing about this team is that despite their 1-loss record, they are all in. Players are talking about how much they like what this organization is doing, the team morale.
I like Coach Eberflus. I do.
Yeah.
I even like him so much, I finally learned how to pronounce his name. I'm
still working on that myself. I just call him Coach. But here's a question for you from Derek Carter. Derek wants to know, do you think Ryan Poles, the general manager, is going to build that front 7 in the offseason? Do you trust Ryan Poles? Because the front 7 of this defense is really putrid right now.
I think they're going to build the defense. I didn't think that at the beginning. I was praying, and all of us were, that it looked like we might need a quarterback, and maybe we still do. Who knows? Because I'm worried about injury. I am. That's the only thing I'm worried about with this kid. I mean, and of course, learning to throw from the pocket and more accurately. But he's cut down on his turnovers. You don't see him fumbling the ball away. I said he was a fumbler before the season began, and I wasn't inaccurate. But now he's got like 11 TDs and 1 interception his last 3-4 games. So he's putting that to sleep.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, yeah, I think the front 7. I mean, when I think of the Bear teams the past few years, and I think most people would agree, maybe, and I'll throw this to Eldo. It's hard to keep winning when your money men keep sitting. And that was Akeem Hicks. That was Khalil Mack, who would play, but would go to the sidelines a lot. The veterans on that team that were supposed to lead were finding a lot of sitting time, you know? And I think it was time for that side to move on. That's why I was encouraged by the defense. Quinn played last year as hard as he could when other guys didn't. And they've got rid of these guys. So now they're going to have to replenish and maybe pay for a lineman and a linebacker, and they had it already. So I don't know. What are you doing? I mean, pay them then. Now, Roquan Smith's out of line. $20 million for a middle linebacker? No way. No way. You complained your way out of town, so see you later. I mean, I'll name names off, and then you can just go sit in the corner. Butkus, Urlacher, Singletary, okay? For Christ's sake, even Tom Hicks. All right, you're a great player, but you were a very good player. You're not in that ilk, Bill George. You're not in that ilk of player. Sorry, I've seen them all. Even Carmen said to me this week, DeFalco, you're the youngest 70-year-old I ever known, so I think I could ask you this. I go, what? The last time the Bears rushed for 200 yards 4 straight times was in 1956. You know what I said? Oh, yeah, Eddie Brown was the quarterback. You had Willie Gallimore at running back. You had a pretty good line. Guys so I've been there. Roquan Smith was good. He was not in the realm of great Bear linebackers, middle linebackers. Not. I don't care what the stats say. He'd make stops 6 yards down the line. He wouldn't make them two yards behind the line. That was the problem I had with him, period.
Well, I hope this defense gets their act together because they can win some games this rest of the season. The schedule is looking favorable for the foreseeable short future before they get that the Bills and Eagles in here in December, which are going to be tough games. Somebody in the chat room wants to get your comment on the fact that Mitchell Trubisky was taking snaps with the third stringers this week. Your thoughts on Mitch's demise, so to speak?
Well, his demise is the demise of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They haven't won a game since he's been relieved of his duties. I've seen this act before. They were not going to accept him coming back from a 10-6 game. We're still in this game. Get him out. And then he throws 9 for 12 for 144 yards, and he brings them back. And Tomlin, who's very secure in his job, and he's been told to tank. He's been told to tank. They said, let's push him back. They paid the guy $7 million. He didn't do anything wrong. He's getting it stuck to him, and that's period. I mean, we've all been jagged around. If you don't know what getting jagged around is with Mitch Trubisky right now, it's about we don't want to win. We want to get that kid from Alabama that at that other end to match up with Watt or maybe a higher pick, and that's the way it is. And Mitch has just got to eat it, but. Like I've said, he's the only guy I've ever seen as a complete quarterback who's been replaced by two guys that aren't as good as him yet. So we'll see what happens. 4,000
Clovers agreed with what you said about the defense, but he's not with you on Mitchell Trubisky. He said he calls him true bust key.
Well, like I said, he was 30-22 as a Bear, and Fields is 5-15. And you can say, Fields lost some games for us this year, but Fields also should have won some games for us here. So I'm not picking on him. But Mitch played. You guys call him a bust, you'd rather lose. I've never seen Bear fans so bent on still bringing up Trubisky. I mean, I'm the one that don't bring him up anymore. I'm the one backing Fields. You got to move on. What happened to Mitch, though, and he's not a bust because I know what busts are. See, I think it's where he was drafted and Mahomes. Yeah. That's it.
Yes.
Tim Couch was drafted, the Cleveland guy, as a number 1. He disappointed greatly. He was hardly given an opportunity to even be a backup.
Right.
It's where you're drafted and what you do. Right. Mitch was drafted too. Those stats aren't good enough because of Mahomes. Okay? This guy Couch was drafted. Andre Ware. These guys were hardly given chances to be backups. You didn't make it where you were drafted, you're out. So I don't feel sorry for Mitch right now. There's no doubt Nagy did it to him and a lot of other things, and he did it to Fields. Thank God Nagy's out. Nagy, from what I hear, was very disorganized as a head coach.
Yeah, the reports on Matt Nagy and his coaching abilities gets whacked every single day.
By people in the league.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever get a head coaching job again. We'll see.
I just named Mitch Trubisky's lucky to still be in the league compared to the quarterbacks I just named. I mean, look at Sam Darnold. Look at him. Everybody told me he was better than Mitch. At least Mitch. I mean, Sam Darnold's disappeared. I mean, the one thing I think is going to be good about Fields, if he can make it, he'll break the Ohio State jinx, okay? Which USC, with Sam Darnold being their latest victim, guys like Matt Barkley has not done. Has not done.
Mike, we got a guy in the chat room. He frequents almost all of our Bears shows. His name is Don Burr. He is from Detroit, or I don't know exactly.
Cool, I
where he
like
is.
that.
Yeah, Don's a cool guy, but he's also a troll because he loves his Detroit Lions, and so I thought maybe you have a message.
Don't worry, they're going to win something soon.
That's what
Don, let me tell you something. I hear trash talking. I got the big TV now. I can hear the NBA players trash talking and this and that and the whole ball of wax, and they act like they invented it and all that. I invented it in the 60s. Okay. All right. And then the 90s, I just took it to the radio. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The last time Detroit won anything in football, Bobby Lane was hammered at 2 a.m. Okay. Their quarterback. And his helmet didn't even have a face mask. And they didn't have emblems on the side of their helmet. Okay. They basically had no stripes on their jerseys. They, I think, played in gym shoes. So, seriously, Detroit might beat the Bears today, but there's no comparison between the franchises. The McCaskies can always go, we suck, but look at the Ford family,
The Yugo of football franchises.
My God. The Ford family now getting into electric vehicles after having the Detroit Lions. You can't write a better script. You just can't. Hey, what's better, a car that you could spend $70,000 on that could go 100,000 miles, or a car that you could spend $75,000 on that you go 400 miles and then you got to find a charging station by the dump in the city?
Don's only reply to you is that you're still on Mitch Trubisky. So, well,
oh, damn right, and he could quarterback for your team.
You think how big of an upgrade do you think Trubisky would be over Jared Goff? don't spit up your coffee.
I love. Listen, I have nothing against anybody. I just think, and I think if people were downright serious about this, Kenny Pickett has thrown 9 interceptions in 3 games. Mitch hadn't thrown. Come on. Shut up. Teams that won't. The Bears. Go. See, Pittsburgh just replaces their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But other teams go, Bears go, okay, we'll replace anybody on defense that can play worth the damn, and let's get this thing on the road. Hey, look, I'm going to give Poles a chance. He's got an incomplete right now with me. But and he inherited Fields.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take Fields, so, we'll see. And if Fields has a bad game today after what he's done the last 4 games, you can't get on him. You can't get on him. But Detroit is not going to be an easy beat. They are not going to be an easy beat.
All right.
They're down. You happy? Now go outside and wave to everybody in Detroit, all 7 of them.
They're all gathered around the garbage can trying to keep their hands warm.
Yeah, right.
All right. Before we get your take on a bunch of NFL games, I want to let people know that if they need a personal injury attorney, then they need to listen to this spot.
If you're injured at work, don't try to be a hero and work in pain. Immediately tell your boss how you were injured and seek medical treatment. Then call my guy, attorney David Spada, to make sure that your rights are protected. David will fight for the payment of your medical bills, lost wages, and settlement. Insurance companies and employers have individuals representing their interests. Why not you? You must have an experienced attorney on your side. All fees are contingent upon your recovery. Call David Spada at 847-729-COMP. That's 847-729-2667.
Geez, I wish I worked for somebody else other than myself, because I'd call David right away. I tripped over a cable the other day.
Well, I'll tell you what, David was, you finally got the money in. And David and I have been friends for like 30 years, so I could joke with him. I said, who do you call if you're injured? He says, I never had that problem. I go, well, I'm just asking you. And he goes, oh, I get it. So you know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you get your check?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
No, I'm just kidding. Dave's the greatest. We appreciate it. Hope to do more with him in the future. He's been very instrumental in the growth. And by the way, congratulations, everybody that follows the Bar Room. It's been a nice run. We're up to 13,000 on Twitter, so we've grown immensely over the past 3-4 years with all the hard work done by everybody at the Bar Room, and I mean that with Aldo's leadership and with everybody involved, pulling together just for the love of what most podcasters do. They do podcasts, whether it's for the White Sox, the Bears, or in other cities, Denver Nuggets. Who cares? Basketball. Some great people on podcasts all over this country and on social media, which has hurt terrestrial radio quite a bit.
Indeed. All right, let's start looking at what is happening across the league. Let's start with this game that just is about to kick off any second now, and that is the Seahawks versus the Buccaneers. The Bucks are -3. The money line is Seahawks +125, Buccaneers -150, and the over-under is 44.5. Any thoughts on this Brady versus Geno Smith contest?
I'm not going to give anybody any winners today. I'm going to give you leaners. So it's up to you what you want to do with it, or go opposite me. I don't want to put people in the trick bag. I think we went under 500 last time. I'm not going to do that with this crew if I'm going to pick every game. So what I'll do is lean and give you real quick 2-3 sentence reasons. I think Seattle is going to show themselves well. I think Tampa Bay averaging about 16 points a game. It was a miracle they won last week. I mean, Raheem Morris. I don't own the football team, because if I did, I would have fired him right after the game. He was the Ram defensive coordinator. And I come from the school of Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan says if you don't have 3 guys or 4 guys that can rush the passer, you rush 5. If the 5 can't get it, you rush 6. If the 6 can't get it, you rush 7. This guy decides to give Tom Brady. They give Tom Brady the ball with about 1:30 left. I think he had 2 timeouts left. It's Tom Brady, though. He can't move like he used to. He still sidesteps as good as anybody. Throws a real good ball still. I mean, he's still a hell of a quarterback. He could play till next year. If he came to the Bears next year, okay, I'd say we got a shot. That's just the way I feel about the guy. He figures it out. Unless somebody figures it out for him. And Raheem Morris to play soft defense for 70 yards and let Tom Brady throw out patterns, 8, 9, 10-yard out patterns all the way down the field and lose with seconds left, he would have been gone. I would have said, you can't outrush 3 guys. They rush Aaron Donald and 2 other guys against 6 men. And Brady's back there like this. Boom, boom, boom. A mediocre quarterback would have won. You don't do that to Tom Brady. You got to fluster him. And they didn't. So they were lucky to win. I would lean Seattle.
Interesting. Okay. You know, that's
Seattle, by the way, Pete Carroll, for people that don't think he can coach because they lost Russell Wilson and everybody said they're rebuilding. They're rebuilding. No, they're not.
I love it when you do that overbite.
That's the Chicago media. We're rebuilding. White Sox rebuilding. Cubs rebuilding. Bears rebuilding. We're the Chicago media. Sometimes rebuilding. Tribune. I should worry about rebuilding your papers. So it doesn't blow. It's on my driveway. It's blowing down the street. There's like 12 pages.
That's right. The Sunday paper now is 12 pages long.
It's not flying. I need a string like a kite.
I used to get 240 pages of ads on Sunday alone.
I used to deliver the Sunday Tribune. I was 13 years old, underage. I had to walk up to the 3rd floors, and during Sundays, bad snows, nobody shoveled their back then. Right. That was a form of security. Are you kidding me? Don't shovel. Somebody may try to break in, and they'll kill themselves getting up these stairs. It was okay for us to go up them. But if you live on Ridge and Ardmore, you don't want your stairs shoveled.
That is so true. Certain parts of the city, just let it up.
What was that? Somebody just fell to their death. Great, they were going to break in.
That's right. You're going to put ice? I mean, you're going to put salt down? No, don't do
that. We got boulders. We put them up in front of the door. Snow boulders. Carried them up to the 3rd floor. Blocked the landing.
All right. The game of the week, according to many, is this Vikings-Bills game. We don't know yet if Josh Allen is going to play. It looks like he is. There are signs that he is, but the spread right now is the Bills -3.5. That could change any second now.
I saw 6.5.
Really?
Look up now. Look up Buffalo -6, and look up Buffalo Bills real quick. Because the line just jumped for some reason. Mm-hmm. Because I picked it on the odds couple at 3.5. It should still be. You got anything?
Yeah. Let me. I want to make sure I get the latest one. So something in the past hour. Vikings and Bills. Action Network. Let's see. It is, Vikings plus 6.5.
Yeah, how is that? Without Josh Allen?
Yes, it's Josh Allen.
He's playing?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I took the Bills at minus 3.5 because everybody was telling me he'd be out. That's awesome. I'll probably lose by 20. I got to lean the Bills no matter what. I mean, it was 3.5 with Case Keenum. Now,
Yes.
Case Keenum's one of those guys that will give you 2-3 games, and then the fourth game you want to go, all right, get rid of him. You know what I mean? But he'll give you. If it was him, I still like the Bills at 3.5. Josh Allen's playing because he started hearing the whispers. If he misses a game or two, and don't think Buffalo isn't worried because they'd rather have maybe Mitch instead of Case Keenum, but Case Keenum's fine. But they're worried about his health, and he's gone, I'm worried about my MVP. If he misses a game or two with Mahomes and some of these other guys that are playing, he might be in trouble. So he's playing. Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. And if he's not, I would lean Buffalo.
Okay. I'm with you on that one. I think Buffalo is going to manhandle the Vikings.
I think they got to prove something. I mean, my God, Minnesota was, and by the way, excuse me, Adam Schefter, put your shirt on.
Please. Jeez.
I mean, that's a hardcore journalist there. I swear to God, if the Bears win, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to embarrass Adam Schefter. A 70-year-old man's in better shape. Okay?
I love it.
You're going to actually see maybe a rib, some maybe a sick, I don't know. But I'm going to get the Italian chains out, maybe some of B's jewelry.
Yes.
And they're on the plane dancing like they won the Super Bowl. I mean, my God. So I know that Buffalo's watching that. And Kirk Cousins is really in love with himself right now. This is about the time he lays an egg. So I would lean that way.
I love it. All right, we go to Tennessee where the Broncos and Titans are playing each other, and the Titans are -3. The money line is Broncos plus 125, Titans -150. The over-under is a measly 37.5.
Yeah, things haven't gone according to plan, but I will tell you this. I love Tennessee. I love Vrabel. I think he's a heck of a coach. I think Tannehill is one of those guys, serviceable, and he just gets the job done. Thank you, Tony. I just think that Russell Wilson will figure out a way today. I'm leaning towards Denver.
Yeah, it's amazing because
I love Russell Wilson. I don't know what's going on.
I loved him.
I've always loved him from the beginning. I'd take him tomorrow. I think Hackett's a hack. I do. I think he's a hack who got his job because of Daddy and had Aaron Rodgers. I will say this, since he's been gone, how good is Green Bay's offense? So that's sort of like a feather. If I'm going to pound him on Denver's performance and his head, see, I think he's an offensive coordinator type of guy.
Yeah.
I think he's, there's certain guys that should just be coordinators. Look what happened to Frank Reich. You know what I mean? Things don't work out for them if they go to head coach sometimes. So I think that there's certain guys like Josh McDaniel. Folks, I'm stunned. See, people go, Mike, how have you lasted? How do you keep going through the minefield? How do you handle the people that want against you, that don't want you around? I go, well, I don't want them around. You burn bridges with me, you're in trouble. Okay? But also, I'm around because I know when I'm wrong. I wanted the Bears for Josh. I wanted Josh McDaniels on the Bears. I wanted him to be the head coach of the Bears. I've studied on the bar room. Nobody else will admit when they're wrong for the most part. I'm stunned that they've blown 3 17-point leads with the Raiders. Because he got them those 17 points by calling the game. But apparently he's another guy that's just an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, there's been a few of them. It's got to be a tough evaluation process to determine whether a guy really is a better coordinator than he's a head coach, because we've seen a lot of failures.
Absolutely. Even in Chicago with Trestman, with Nagy.
And remember, Vic Fangio was a great coordinator here.
Absolutely.
But couldn't hack it at Denver.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Kansas City where the Jaguars are playing the Chiefs. 9.5, minus 9.5 for Kansas City. Jaguars plus 350 on the money line, minus 450 for the Chiefs, over under 50.5. What do you think?
I wouldn't do anything with this game, but if I was, I'd take the money line. I'd risk 450 to win 100. That's how sure I am of this game. I think that the Chiefs, the last thing they want, are going to lose to this team.
Mhm.
But you know, you never know. And you've seen it this year. People getting ruined. I mean, in these survivor pools, there's 6,000 people that won at Circa. 6,000. All you have to do is pick the winner each week. You can't pick the same winner twice. There's like 100 people left, and the season's just a little half over. So teams like this, like the Jaguars, can upset it. I just don't see it happening. I wouldn't take the points. I probably wouldn't take the game, but if I had to, I'd take the Chiefs on the money line.
There you go. All right. We go to Miami now. It's Cleveland playing the Dolphins. Their Dolphins are giving up 3.5 points. The money line Browns plus 155, Dolphins minus 190, and the over-under is 49.5. Your thoughts?
Dolphins. I think that the Dolphins learned a little bit last week. I think they played a special animal at this time in Justin Field and the Bear offense. I don't see the Browns offense being as good. Can you believe that, folks? I'm saying that. I don't see an offense as good. I mean, a month ago, I would have taken like Mount Carmel's offense over the Bears. So I just think that the Dolphins are relieved they're not playing the Bears this week and are relieved they walked out of there with the win. So I like them. I just don't think in the AFC they're going to be relevant at the end. I just think there were too many holes exposed last week by our Bears.
Interesting. You know, what's interesting about last week's game is that the Bears offense actually outscored Miami's offense. It was that touchdown that was the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, let me remind everybody about the Minnesota Vikings too. They've only beaten one winning team. One winning team. They've won all their games by less than one score. They were losing those games last year. The one winning team they beat was Miami with Teddy Bridgewater quarterback and not even Tua. So keep that in mind if you want to put money on the Vikings today.
Interesting thought. All right, we're going Texans and Giants. The Giants, by the way, have not beaten a lot of winning teams either. The Giants, though, are giving up 5 points against the Texans. The Giants are at home. Texans plus 180 on the money line. Giants minus 225, and the over-under is 41. What are your thoughts on Brian Daboll's Giants playing Lovey's Texans?
Shave the afro on and say Lovey left me in charge, and it's still Lovey, but just change the look a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because Lovey right now, when I see him, I don't want to bet that team. Okay, Houston's killed me this year. That being said, I mean, the guy that's disappointed me is the quarterback. Is Mills. I thought he'd be a lot better. It hasn't happened. A stay away from me. I'd lean the Texans getting 5, but it's a stay away. I don't trust Lovey anymore. I don't. And you know what? I mean, he got back in, but it's not working out. And I know he took under a tough situation, believe me.
Well, this is one of my picks. I'm going to lean on Lovey's plus 180 and bet the money line on them. I'm taking a shot there.
Yeah. Come on, I'm Eldo Gandia, world famous fisherman.
Yeah.
And what I bring in is prime.
You should see my bank account on my betting app. It's not looking pretty good right now.
I'll tell you what, I remember the old days. You know, you'd be down a little bit and you need a little extra cash. And you're building up enough nerve to ask the wife for it after about 2 days of contemplation. Should I dodge the man for a week or should I talk to the wife?
All right, let's go to one of your favorite towns in the world, Pittsburgh, where the Steelers are playing the Saints. The Saints on the road are giving up 1.5. The money line says Saints minus 125, Steelers plus 105, and the over-under is 40.5. Your thoughts on the Steelers?
I'm not a hater. I want Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game. I look at the spread. You know, and by the way, Jameis Winston, Clown Town. Okay, how'd that work out? All right, Dalton's still playing, I believe. My God,
unbelievable.
You know, yeah. I mean, look at all like we talk about quarterbacks like Mitch. A lot of guys. Winston can't even get on the field. So, but I just like Pittsburgh today. I think they put it together. I really do. Look at Tooch. He took the Steelers money line.
Yeah.
And it's not bad because it's like a picket.
Yep, it is indeed. You know what? I'm going to lean.
Tooch needs sleep. Tooch is like every handicapper after about the 10th week. My wife saw me the other day. She goes, what happened? I go, nothing. I just woke up. I'm staying up last night watching Wake Forest lose, which was great for me. Thank you, North Carolina. But I mean, you're staying up for these games.
I know, it's crazy.
I know Tooch. Tooch has got I watched Hawaii game, which is like 11 o'clock game to catch. He's got that look to him.
That is crazy. Yeah. All right. The Raiders, I don't forget where they play. Las Vegas, Colts at Raiders. Raiders giving up 4.5 points. The money line says Colts plus 170. Colts are having all sorts of problems. I'm surprised it's just plus 170. The over-under is 41.
You know what's amazing? Mm-hmm. I have more coaching experience than Jeff Saturday. But it's the wrong sport. But I am throwing my head in the ring for the Bulls' next head coach if this thing don't work out.
Why not?
I mean, my God, Jeff Saturday. Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping he wins. I'm hoping they get it done.
Okay.
But it would be it's too much and they can't do it. I've heard this my whole life, and I know Jeff has too. Mm-hmm. Great center, Pro Bowler, nice guy. It seems like. And I'm rooting for him. So I'm not. Let's see what I got to read on Indianapolis here. Hold on.
Yeah,
right now, Indy plus the 4 seems to be the read to take. So yeah. I mean, if it's that bad,
mm-hmm.
How bad are the Raiders? That they got their coach from a TV show and said, "Come on, we don't know who's calling the plays. Our quarterback's down. Irsay's buzzing right now as he's doing the press conference. And you're only a 4-point favorite. I would lean Indianapolis."
Yeah, things are bad for both franchises, right?
Yeah. Las Vegas. Can I tell folks something here? Now, as everybody knows, I'm not a Jay Cutler fan. But I'm going to say this about Jay. As much as he didn't care, it looked like sometimes, as much as he had a sourpuss, okay, I didn't think anybody could be more inept than him. But Jay was 57-57 with one relevant playoff game for $118 million. Garbage. But Derek Carr has never won a playoff game in 10 years with the Raiders. Okay? That's Cutler territory, folks. That's worse than Cutler territory. So I want Indianapolis to win. The McDaniel thing looks bad. It just does. And I was on his bandwagon. And, I stick with people, but it's hard to stick with him. This is another chance he's had, and it's not working out.
Yeah. As you said, sometimes great coordinators cannot become good coaches.
No.
Speaking of good coaches, the Cowboys with Mike McCarthy, I don't know if he's really a good coach, but
hey, how's Green Bay doing?
Yeah, right. They're about ready to lose their 6th straight game if my prediction comes up.
The venom, the hatred you have for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it feels so good. I don't care if the Bears lose, but the fact that the Packers are losing so badly, it's so good.
Let me tell you something. Rodgers went from the banker who took cash from Nicky Santoro, and they were both glad-handing, to the banker that's going to have his skull opened in 3 weeks. And just about that time, that's where he's gone. He's gone from Nicky Santoro collecting money to being the guy that Nicky was going to put the guy's head through the little hole in the glass. He has dropped faster than my grades dropped back in 7th grade. I mean, I cannot believe what's happened. But here's the deal. How many times have we heard Tom Brady or Andrew Luck or some other players deferred money or redid their contracts to get better players? Now, I don't think that happened with Devontae Adams. He wanted to go play and crap the bed with his buddy, Derek Carr.
Right.
But Aaron Rodgers, as far as I know, has made millions, trillions, and has never once said to the Packers, you know what, I want this guy. Let me rework my deal. Like Brady did to win so many Super Bowls. So while people, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers has to do that, but come on, Aldo, you know me. I mean, if you make enough money, it's easy to tip somebody 100. Okay, 200 when you used to only tip 25. And it's easy to defer money for your retirement if you want to buy yourself a receiver. So I don't feel sorry for him. I don't. He's helped create this monster.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure you're picking the Cowboys with the
Oh,
money.
yes. I hope they win. And I like Jerry Jones. And Mike McCarthy's been batted around because it's always been Rodgers, right? Well, now he's done a pretty good job. Him and Pete Carroll, 2 Coach of the Year candidates.
There you go. All right.
Because he lost Prescott and they won like 3-4 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And Carroll lost Wilson. People know, how does Mike on his game so much? And they won. So it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
All right. 2 franchises that are battling right now, the Cardinals and Rams. Rams are only getting a 1.5. They're giving away a 1.5. The Cardinals plus 100 on the money line. Rams minus 120. The over-under is 40.5. These franchises suck. What are you thinking here?
I think back in the day, they deported Lucky Luciano back to Sicily. Okay, the government. I'm all for the deportation of these 2 teams. They've done nothing but kill me. The Rams against the spread 3-6. You know, just like the Packers. A lot of these teams that were supposed to, the Bucks, all these teams that were supposed to be so good, crap in the bed. The Rams are one of the teams that killed me in one pool while I'm staying away from in another pool, and I'm doing very well. So, boy, these 2 teams had so much going for them.
They did.
I don't have a play on this game, but you know what? If the Rams can't win this game, my God, the Cardinals are a mess. Since the day they told the quarterback, we need a 4-hour guarantee you're going to study film. Since that time, that whole thing's gone awry.
Well, and Tuch is saying both starting quarterbacks are out today. Matt Stafford for the Rams, Kyler Murray,
That's fine.
String. So it's going to be an interesting battle of the backups.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't care. Stafford's had a crap year. He had his 1 year. He's a one-hit wonder.
Yes.
He's going to be like Aaron Rodgers. Okay. And I don't know if Murray's ever going to win. So it doesn't matter.
I agree with you. I'm not a believer in Kyler Murray.
J.J. Watt, I love him, but I'm tired of that crap too. And they're expecting Hopkins and all these guys. They're all great individual players, but as a team with Kingsbury as coach, it just hasn't happened.
Not happening. All right. The Sunday night game is the LA Chargers playing the 49ers. The 49ers are giving away 7 points. Chargers plus 240. The over under 45.5. What do you think?
The Chargers suck.
They do.
They suck so bad. They killed me too in this pool, that one pool. They suck. Herbert, overrated. Great point, stat stuffer.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, 50 times. I like bear football. I like to mix in the run, throw a few surprise passes. To me, this is the game I might load up on. I'm a Jimmy G fan. This Shanahan got saved from just disaster with the injury to Trey Lance. Oh, and by the way, okay, since everybody picks on everybody for draft picks, how's that 3 first-rounders for Trey Lance? And if you're San Francisco, you're looking at Justin Fields right now going, wow.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
But Jimmy G is better than both of them because he's a pocket passer. And you know what? He's gotten them to the Final Four in the Super Bowl. And I just think that San Francisco is going to bake them tonight. The 7 points is a lot of points to give that offense. I just think the Chargers can't get out of their own way. I got a great story. Doug Buffone was drafted by the Bears, but also drafted by the San Diego Chargers at the time.
Okay.
And they came after Doug Hart, just like the Kansas City Chiefs came after Gale Sayers. Ditka was, I forget, the Houston Texans back in the day, the AFC team. So they were invading the NFL. And Sayers said, no, I want to play with the best. And Doug said, I'm not going to play for you. And they go, why? What is it? We got a great team. We got, potential here. The AFL is going to be huge. He goes, I can't play in that kind of weather. That's what he told him.
Wow.
It's too nice. He said it's too nice.
That sounds like
He's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing where it's 85 degrees. And believe me when I tell you this, I know the Rams won, but they mostly won indoors. You know, I mean, they play in that new stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It was always tough for me to think that there weren't other things to do in Southern California. And that was the argument for 30 years when we didn't need LA in the market. So I think that tonight they get their heads handed to them by the 49ers.
Okay. Now, what everybody wants to know most of all is who are you picking in this Lions at Bears contest? The Bears are giving away 3 points. The money line, Lions plus 130, the Bears minus 155, the over under 48.5. Your thoughts?
I remember when the over-unders were 9.5.
Like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, like a month ago. You think they can kick 4 field goals? I don't know. How's the punter? By the way, you know you're in trouble when the Detroit Lions extended their punter 3 years.
Their most valuable weapon.
Yeah. It's like a race car driver getting a collision expert to be your, to give him a 3-year deal. It's not very gratifying. It's not good for the confidence.
No.
The punt guy, the collision guy. I'm going to put probably $50 and make a little couch change on a par.
Mm-hmm.
Completely, I'm rooting for the Bears. I got the over, like I said. But I'm a feeling it's going to be close to the vest. I'm going to take Detroit, getting points, see what happens.
I love it.
The Bears can win by 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is one bet I am going to put immediately after we are done here. Mike North, you have done.
Don't you think it's easy to take the Bears in the over?
Yes.
I can't believe I'm saying it's easy to take the over.
I know.
The over, the last time the over was 48 in the Bear game, I don't know if that's ever happened. I swear to God, I wish somebody would do a study. Has the over-under ever been 48 for the Bears in their history? Not even the 85 Bears. Yes. They put 44 up on people. They put 44 up on Dallas and shut them out. So if you had 48, you lose.
That's right. Great point. One of my
That's
favorite
when we were
games.
young and alive, Aldo, when we were not afraid to walk the streets.
Mike, you did it again. You hit another home run. You stepped up in the pocket, threw a perfect ball down the middle for the touchdown. You hit the 3-pointer. You slap shotted it into the goal. All 4 of those. Do you ever play ice hockey, Mike?
No. I played with my buddies a little bit, but I wasn't good. I mean, it was the 3 other sports. By the way, baseball, terrible ratings. You have lousy leadership in Rob Manfred. You absolutely lost the 2018 World Series. Yes. Joe John Smoltz, not a joke amongst them. It's a boring listen. The Phillies and the Astros was a bad matchup. People didn't want to see Houston win. Okay. The rules are softer now. You want me to go on why baseball's dying in a lot of different ways? I just gave you 6 examples, but you got to get going.
Well, let me tell you, let's make sure we talk about that more, maybe next week or very soon, because that is
Manfred's taken the interest out of a lot of fans. Believe me,
he really has. It's an abomination of what he's doing. It's not good for sports. It's not good for baseball fans. And you're right. But let's leave it there. The Barfly Tailgate Show is coming up. I'm filling in for Aaron Current, who is out.
Oh boy, 2 hours in a row.
2.5 hours. Take care, everybody.